Hello, everyone. This is Ep14, and welcome to episode 14 of Ep20's Let's Play of FTB Evolution. Today's plan, I need lava. The main thing I need lava for is obsidian, honestly. Because I tried this thing, and it definitely consumes the lava block. Like, it immediately consumed it, and yup. So, the plan, head into the nether, and use create to make infinite lava. Sound like a good one? Let's do it. So I've picked out a lovely spot. And I'm very excited for how beautiful this area looks. Right here. That's where I think we should set up shop. Does that sound cool? Alright, so we're going to want a hose pulley. And we're going to see if said hose pulley wants to be super cool about stuff. I also made myself a hand crank. So remember, the way these things work is... I'm pretty sure this is the right thing. We do that. Right? And I think it's going to tell me if this is cool. And then that, that, and that. And then I should be able to use my wrench dude to make those guys do that. Now, I'll have to set up some kind of thing here, but for now I'm just going to crank it with the hand crank. Now, does that count as like an infinite doohickey? Trying to decide if that's the right direction. It is not, so we want to do that. See the arrow? And now what we should be getting, in theory, let's rotate you. On today's episode of Direwolf is not good at create. What am I doing wrong here, friends? You shift click, it goes in the opposite direction, right? So, like, that should be cool. Hooray! We did something. Tapping the mantle. Hopefully that means bottomless supply. That's what we want. The target body of fluid is considered infinite. So the key here is when you tap into a large enough source of fluid, and I forget the number, but it's some number, create considers it infinite. So basically, by tapping into a large enough pool of lava, we've got an infinite supply of lava. Is that cool? I think so. So now all we have to do is set up, like, you know, a proper system. And water wheels probably ain't gonna do the job, right? Feel like water wheels ain't gonna happen. But that's okay. Now, in addition, I made myself some advanced laser connectors, which should be cool. So your color on here, I want it to be like a nice orangey. And we're gonna use a laser wrench. Hey, I said laser wrench. Bing. So that should be cool. Okay. And then you're going to extract from this tank. Okay. And then we can home. And what I'd like to do is have a fluid drawer, which will be you. Okay. And I'm thinking it doesn't super matter where this goes, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll stick it there. And then behind the wall, I'm going to want you. And you. So if I click that, he should connect. We see the color change, and we see the little bauble on the top that indicates he's connected remotely. And I thought I had a thing here that told you where things were connected to, but I guess not. Anyway, that should be cool. And then on this face, you're going to insert fluids, and it's not going to work because we're chunk loading. We're not chunk loading, more specifically. So pretty close. If I moved this setup to over here, we'd be cooler, right? Now you drained, so now if I go home, you should have lava in you. Cool. So the wirelessness is working. It just wasn't chunk loaded, which is not the end of the world. Okay. But then I should be able to do this to link this up, and this to lock this up. And now, do we have access to our lava? We do. How cool is that? How cool is that? So now what I'm going to do is just relocate you a little bit. So if I break this setup and instead do the exact same thing but facing this way, okay, what we're going to have is a much better setup. So you're going to basically go here. If this doesn't want to behave itself, I bet I can rotate you. I really want you to behave yourself in terms of... I don't want to, like, place blocks over the thing, but I might have to place blocks over the thing. I think we'll be fine to place a couple blocks here, right? So that, and then that, and then that. And then we want our hand crank. And then we want our this dude. And then either you're going to fill with this. You are. Cool. Now hopefully you're being good. Bottomless supply. That's what I wanted to see. All right, beautiful. And you'll notice this guy is immediately sending whatever lava he gets back to the overworld. Cool? Cool. So for funsies, I decided to find out if you can water wheel with lava. And the answer is yes. You can water wheel with lava. Whether or not this burns at some point, I do not know. This shouldn't have worked, hidden advancement. That's kind of funny. Because I agree, this shouldn't have worked. But I'll take it. I will take it. So let's throw like a dude here, and then a dude here. We'll see if that's cool. It seems to be. Yeah. Like, that's cool, right? We could absolutely speed that up a little bit, too, if we wanted to. We could throw, like, you and you on here. Right? And then you and you. And then we could do... Dyer's so good at create, let me tell you. And then rotate you. And that seems definitely faster, right? We're definitely pumping lava up quicker. And now if we home, that's infinite lava from the nether, right? Like, that's just... And I chunk loaded it, so you can see it filling up there at the top. Or if this number is more friendly for you. See it going? It's going! So that's cool, right? That's super cool. So I'll show you here the making of lava with this. While neat, any other sneaky tricks to making obsidian? Because as much as I like the concept of making obsidian that way, like, I get it. We gotta consume lava to make obsidian. I get it. I do. Rather not, if I can avoid it. You know what? Create has like a sneaky infinite obsidian process, right? So like you'll either get obsidian dust, which I assume in some way, shape, or form I can convert back to obsidian, you know, or not, right? So yeah. Any other cool tricks? Magma blocks, meh. I'm just looking for like a fun way to generate obsidian. Like we could absolutely, like, there's a million ways to do this. You know. Anything that looks fun? Meh. All right, we'll have to just stick with this. Yeah. So for this guy to behave itself, what we could do is we could get a fluid placer from Just Dire Things. A simple one, though. Are we out of redstone? We can't possibly be out of redstone. We are 100% out of redstone. There is 0 redstone. Dire really needs to deal with his lack of resources at some point. 100% out of redstone. All right, let me go get a little redstone for this. And then very soon, I think we get into bees. Because I said I was going to try bees instead of mystical agriculture for stuff. Now, I don't know exactly. You know what I should be doing? What Y level is good for redstone in this pack? Who knows? We'll go with 0-ish. So this is my trick. But also make sure that your hammer is on. There you go. Cool. And then you definitely need to get voided. Green stuff. Andesite probably can too. See all the junk we're collecting? I'm gonna need to come back. Ooh. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we don't need to do bees. That could be a thing. That could be a thing. Yeah. I might consider that. And we're back from a little mining expedition. That went pretty smoothly. So now I should be able to make a fluid placer. Right? And then so basically I want you, but to like face downwards. Just Dire Wrench. All the wrenches. There we go. Yeah, buddy. And then we can use Laser IO with you. So on the north face, I want you to extract on red, but I want to extract with a filter of lava. Control-Shift-Click still does not work. Not quite sure. And mouse wheel doesn't really work too well either, does it? No. Some mod must be interfering with that, but my to-do list to figure out what. So, like, let's make sure we've always got 16 buckets. Does that sound like a good number? That sounds like a good number to me. 16 buckets always available for the refined storage system to have access to. And then any excess lava will go towards making... Right? Will go towards making obsidian. So down will be an insert on red. And if we connect these dudes... Cool. So you'll always keep 16 in stock. So it'll keep its thing going here. And I assume you're just cruising, right? Sweet. And then you can be added to the mix. And locked. And this guy... Didn't I have an obsidian here? No longer needs to be obsidian. Cool. And then once you hit 16, he'll stop. He'll never extract more than the excess of 16. So basically, we're getting like a third of a bucket every second or so. So we should be making a decent amount, right? So now, if I said I want a bunch of void upgrades in here, you know, we're short, but like we'll get there, right? We might also be low on oak. But not for long. Because that was... All of that was so that I could have obsidian, so that I could void upgrade the excess oak coming out of here. Oh look, we've got mobs happening now. Occasionally. Enderman. Want Enderman. Come here, you. Not that I don't have a portal to the end where I can go kill all the Endermen I want, but like, yay, Enderman. Goodbye, mobs. Cool. So then you should be able to... Functional. Right? Now we have enough. And... Then in addition, we're going to want you... And we're going to want a... storage controller. Now, in fairness, if I made enough range upgrades, they should be able to reach over here. So, like, what if I did that? What if I taught you range, like these dudes, right? Like, you know how to do that. So, like, that. You know how to make patterns, right? Missing... Do thing. Come on. There you go. And then you, and then you, and then you. By the way, some things do not render properly in this UI, so be aware of that. Like I said, refined storage still in beta. I'm beta testing. So can I sneak one of you guys out? We are actually missing copper. That's okay. I just went mining. We should have a smidge of copper available to us. This thing's funny. I've noticed he doesn't push all that often. Isn't that weird? I don't know how that works. Do what now? We can't be out of power. Are we out of power? Can't be out of power, right? I don't think so. I mean, like, you're draining, but, like, yeah. We should have some kind of, like, flux network soon so we can prioritize power. I think that would be smart. So now I can do this. Also still missing blocks of copper. Is copper not in my thing? Possible I forgot to put copper in here? So if I put you in here now, what's your range? We're going to find out. I'm calling that a yes. That would be in range. Maybe? I don't know. This boxy bit is always confusing to me, but I think this is the range. It's pretty bananas, right? So now all I gotta do is like this. And then if we did a controller access point, actually now I'm questioning. So like if I had a controller access point, right? Let's actually revert this. Shapeless. Could I just have a controller access point and bind it here? I feel like yes. Okay. And then let's make sure that everything that's in here is currently stored in the AE system, or in the refined storage system, right? So to validate that, what we want to do is grab one of every item, like this, and so. And that should be cool. So then if I go over here, and we do this, you, and you are not stored. So we're going to go store you, right? And then we're going to make sure that we've got void upgrades for you. And definitely the dude with saplings in it. Definitely you. Hopefully I didn't miss nothing. And then for oak, right? And then if I did that correctly, I should be able to, on the down, insert, and on the east, extract that stack of tech. And that should have all landed right where we want it to. And because it's going into the storage drawers and not the refined storage import bus type setup, what we're going to have here is a pretty good thing, right? Like what that's going to mean is if I forgot to void upgrade something, I'll know because this will start backstuffing. Is that cool? I think that's super cool. I like having the buffer chest. Technically not necessary. Technically could have put this here. Well aware. Because I know I'm going to get comments. Well aware that's a thing. I like having the buffer chest because then I can come over here and check to see if something is getting backstuffed. Whereas it's not easy to access that, dude. Cool. 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 Alright, so the next thing I want to do now is have a setup whereby we can turn oak logs into charcoal. Does that sound cool? I like the sound of it. So let's use create as much as we can for this. And if that's cool, that's cool. If not, we'll find out. So there's this thing called a threshold, something or other, switch, which looks really cool. All I need is some grass and some oak and an axe. I was very sloppy. Cool. So this threshold switch should be able to emit a redstone signal. Power on when greater than about 1024 items. Something like that. Controller access point. Invert signal. That seems cool. Now, if I want to filter it, it said I can put a filter on there. So the create filter, we want oak, right? Allow list, ignore data, check. And I can attach that somehow, some way. There you go. Is that cool? So now redstone emit, and if we take oak out to the point we're under 1,000, when less than 1024. Cool. So now we put all our oak back. It's on. We go under 1024. We're at 1024. We're cool. We're under 1024. Redstone off. We're above 1024. Redstone on. Aha! That is cool. That is cool. And then we can use that to do one of these dudes, right? Whose job will be to also filter from create. Right? Oak. So the only thing you're allowed to extract is going to be oak from here. And then we're going to have a thingy. And then you're going to have a functional storage doohickey. That's going to be charcoal. That's going to be locked. And then what we want is you. Like that. Cool? But then you're only going to be allowed to run when you're getting a redstone signal. Or not. I haven't decided yet. I'm hoping something like that works. So like brass belt funnel. I'm hoping that you... What's your redstone-y bits? There's something redstone. Direction of transfer, funnel compatibility, redstone control. Cool. So redstone on equals stop. Okay. So what we're going to want to do is we would like to invert signal, right? So now when you go below 1024, you're going to emit a redstone signal, stopping it. But for funsies, I want this to be a different number. So 2048 is currently the max that you can be. So let's go like 2000, right? Is that cool? So now when we hit 2000, he'll stop. Okay. And temporarily, I'm going to do this with a crank, just so we can see what's up. But, like, what should happen is you're going to emit that, and then that's it. And he won't emit any more because he's getting a redstone signal. And then once we get more oak in there, he'll be allowed to emit more because the redstone signal turns. Eh? Eh? Is that cool? I like it. I like it. Cool, cool. So let's wrap up here. Come back next episode. We're going to set up fans and lava and converting coal or wood to charcoal. And then more fun to be had. For now, Del20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I might also move this whole contraption underground. Maybe just this bit. I don't know. I also want to do all kinds of stuff. But for now, wrapping up point. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.